Hello, this is John Pabal with Access Arts Live and the weekly roundup of organ recitals. This time we'll be going over the weekly organ recitals that you can hear each week from 5 different churches across the United States and Europe. Before I go any further, let me remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, click on liking the video so we can send you an invitation to follow us. If you're watching on YouTube, click please on subscribe. If you're watching us on our other 4 platforms, don't just like the video, like us, follow us or subscribe to us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. And in return, we guarantee you, we will provide you with more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in 2025. We're already well on the way to doing so. So let's get down to this week's lineup. There are some changes in the usual. The usual Tuesday organ recital at St. James Cathedral, Toronto, will be featuring instead the St. Stanislav Youth Choir from Slovenia. Under the conductor and top Slovenian composer, Damijan Močnik, or Damijan Močnik. I make no claim to speaking Slovenian. Anyway, so I cannot claim that it is an organ recital, although surely someone will be playing the organ there while it happens. So and that's today, the usual time if you want to tune into it, because some of our organ lovers are also choir lovers, that's today, Tuesday, February 18th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, 10 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast and 7 in the evening here in Europe, where it's now 5 o'clock in the evening, so a couple hours from now. And then we move on from that to a choice that you're confronted with once again, what I like to call dueling organist. Wednesday, February 19th, the Temple Church London and the Glasgow University Chapel are once again live streaming at roughly the same hour. So you'll have to choose between organist Julian Thomas and organist James Banville at about 2 p.m. European time. Both of these are talented organists. Both of the organs are impressive organs. I can tell you a little bit about both of them. First up will be Julian Thomas at Temple Church London on the hour at 1 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock European time, 8 in the morning on the East Coast, 5 a.m. on the West Coast, and midnight Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Julian Thomas is the choir master and head of academic music at Tonebridge School, where he's worked for the last 16 years. He started out in life the way I did, a choir boy, and then was a music and academic scholar at Charterhouse, was an organ scholar at Cambridge at Jesus College, and then went on to work at Lincoln Cathedral, became a prize-winning fellow of the Royal College of Organists in 2000. So he's been around a while. He's done a fair amount of radio and television accompanying and choir conducting himself. He's also a published composer, and his bio tells me he's deputized at several London churches. I'm not sure what deputized means. Maybe if anyone who knows the British system better than I do, drop us a comment somewhere in the comments section on one of the 6 platforms where we stream or put up these recordings. He's deputized at the Chapel Royal and the Guards Chapel, and he also works with the Canticum Choir and the London Concert Choir. I could not find what he's playing today, but the last time he did a concert, he played Bach, Mendelssohn, Florence Price, and Eugene Gigoux. So it may be a very varied concert. The organ is a Harrison & Harrison Limited organ, built originally for a ballroom in Scotland in 1927, with its inaugural recital being given by Marcel Dupré. And it was then shipped down to London in 1953. And it underwent a complete overhaul in 2012 and 2013 by Harrison & Harrison in their workshop at Durham. So that's the one choice. Julian Thorne. The other one is James Banville. Now he'll be up 10 minutes after the Temple Church London live stream at 1:10 p.m. UK time, 2:10 p.m. in Europe, 8:10 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:10 on the West Coast, and 10 minutes after midnight Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Now, I had a lot of trouble finding much information about him. He is based in Luton, which is in Bedfordshire, England. He studied at the Royal Academy of Music. He had successive appointments as organist at All Saints, the Parish Church of St. Mary, and now St. Luke's Church, all, I believe, in Luton or Bedfordshire. And he also does a lot of accompanying work. We're told he's in great demand as an accompanist for solo singers. The chapel organ is a Henry Willis organ, built by Henry Willis III in 1927, and also refurbished by Harrison and Harrison of Durham in 2005. So those are your choices for your Wednesday afternoon recital. Wednesday afternoon in Europe, James Banville or Julian Thomas. I don't know how you make that choice. Maybe it depends on whether you'd rather hear a Harrison and Harrison organ or a Henry Willis organ. Next up, we move back to the United States for the next organ recital, which will be on Thursday. This guy here, who's a real mover and doer in New York City. Raymond Nagem from New York City, a Brick Presbyterian. Let me start that announcement over again. All right. Raymond Nagem from New York City's Brick Presbyterian Church gets to play as much as he wants on the Riverside Church's 12,000 pipe organ this Thursday, live streamed to you free of charge at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that Riverside Church organ. You know, we're regularly talking about live streams of organs that have 7,000, 8,000 pipes, and it seems like a lot. 12,000 is just way over the top. This will be at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 in the afternoon on the West Coast, 1 in the morning, European time, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning down under in Australia. And if our written notes say differently, well, we just made a mistake, which happens. That's twice in 1 week. Raymond will be playing works by Bach, Mozart, Prokofiev, and others. He's also on the organ faculty at the Manhattan School of Music, where he teaches organ literature, service, playing, and improvisation. Native of Medford, Mass., BA from Yale, MA from Juilliard, DMA from Juilliard in 2016. Before he went to Brick, he served for 11 years as Associate Director of Music and organist at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in New York City. So this should be a good concert. And you actually, let me tell you a little bit more. You actually also get a carillon concert if you want to tune in a half an hour early, which is also live streamed. This 12,000 pipe organ was built by the Aeolian Skinner Company, but it was designed by the legendary Virgil Fox, who was the organist at the Riverside Church at the time. Dedicated in 1955 in a concert with the New York Phil conducted by Dimitri Mitropoulos. I don't know who played the organ, but I'm guessing it was Virgil Fox who played at that concert. It's got 149 stops, 207 ranks. It's got a 5-manual main console and a second 4-manual console. So, and as for the carillon, it's the world's largest carillon by weight, containing 74 cast bronze bells, and among them the 40,000-pound Bourdon bell. I might mention that he does a fair amount of. I guess he's told us basically what he's going to be playing. Bach, Mozart, Prokofiev, and others. Who the others might be? Well, you might get a clue. He's doing another concert on April 1st, where he'll be doing organ music from Paris and Sweden, including César Franck, Jean de Messieurs and Elfrida Andrea. So he might throw some of that in. And by the way, at the Brick Church, he has a not bad organ to play too. It's we're told it's a spectacular Casavant organ. I'll find out more about that in the future if they ever do a live stream. Eh? Okay, we move on to the next, the fourth of this week's live stream. It's the ever interesting, ever engaging Canon Martin Green. This Friday at 1 p.m. on the West Coast, the St. Paul's Episcopal Church live streams its usual weekly organ recital by Canon Martin Green, one of the most articulate and engaging organists I know of. Martin Green has an ability to explain to you what pieces he chose and why he's playing them and what makes them interesting without leaving you in the musicological dust, as I like to say. So I don't know what he's going to be playing. But he's a very talented organist, and the organ is the one with the longest history of any in the San Diego area. Anyway, it was rebuilt in 1969 by Aeolian Skinner, Opus 1495, and then rebuilt again in 2012 by Quimby Pipe Organs, Opus 68. It has 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 115 draw knobs, and 4,933 pipes. Would you like to see what it looks like? I can show you a picture of it. There you go. I can show you the manual and the pipework there. That's that 4 manual St. Paul's Cathedral organ. Can you see it? My computer seems to be taking its time with uploading the photo. So I hope you are able to see that photo which I just uploaded. If not, well, you've seen Canon Martin Green, and he's the main guy. We have one more weekly recital to tell you about. There, now you can see it plain as day. Now I'm sure of it. We have one more weekly recital to tell you about. And this one is the usual weekly recital at St. Eustache Church in San Diego. By the way, if you missed it, last Friday, I did about a half an hour live stream interview with Thomas Hospital, who is the other main resident organist at St. Eustache Church, going in detail over the workings of that church organ and the work they're going to be doing restoring it, which you don't often get that kind of a detailed explanation. So it was a fascinating conversation on my part, and he also gave us some views of the church loft and of a lovely balcony outside the church, which were just stunning views. Anyway, excuse me for just 1 minute. Okay, this is an audition d'orgue, which is how the French say organ recital. Let me try to do a proper announcement for it. This Sunday, St. Eustache Church live streams its masterful resident organist, Baptiste-Florian, Marle-Ouvrard, playing for you Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, and Ravel. So that should be a pretty good live stream. Marle-Ouvrard is a showman of an organist, and he really knows how to play that the Van den Heuvel organ there, which is the equal of the organ at Notre Dame. It has 101 stops. Now, Notre Dame's organ has 150. It has 7,952 pipes, or almost 8,000, and Notre Dame's organ has just a few less. The two of them are considered the grandest church organs in all of France. The specific pieces you can see listed there. He'll be playing Mozart's Overture to Don Giovanni, Beethoven's the Allegretto from Beethoven's 7th Symphony. He'll be playing the Allegro Giocoso from Brahms's 4th Symphony and Ravel's Alborada del Grazioso. I think it's a lovely piece of a set of selections by top major composers from different time periods. You can't go wrong with Marle-Ouvrard at the St. Eustache Church. Hundreds of people attend that concert every week. Sometimes, we tell you about live streams at these cathedrals all week long, and some of them, they're major cathedrals, and yet there'll be maybe 10 or 12 people attending. At St. Eustache, they have several hundred every Sunday. So it's really something to behold. Anyway, that's what we have for you this week. Let me remind you, if you watch us on Facebook, excuse me for that. I'm having some kind of an allergic reaction to something today. If you watch us on Facebook, click the like button and we'll send you an invite to so you can follow us on Facebook. If you watch on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching us on our other platforms, don't just like the video. If you like the video, like us. Follow us or subscribe to us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. And I'll be back in just a little bit, in just about 10, 12 minutes, to tell you about some additional organ works, but they're not just organ recitals, they're organ concerts going on at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. And in the interest of shortening some of these live streams, we're getting them more particularly. So this one was just meant to cover the regular organ-only recitals going on each week, and or at special festivals. And I'll be back in about 10 minutes to tell you about these special organ and harp and organ and oboe and organ and sand animation concerts going on this week at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow.